Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 235.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, please say hi down below.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single Monday I am super productive. You'll
That's
be alerted to it.
because we've been up since 4 a.m.
We got up at 4 a.m. today because Chris and Miriam are coming, and I want to make sure my house is as picked up as humanly possible. Of course,
Chris said we're friends. It doesn't need to be.
I know, but like, I want to honor my friends. And so I want my house to smell good, and I want it to be freshly vacuumed.
And they landed at 5:30 a.m.
Right. So I wasn't sure if they were coming straight here. That's kind of what I thought. So right. I got up, I vacuumed everything.
I cleaned my desk.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
We need people to stay with us
all
more
the
often.
time. We used to host a Connect group here at our house, and the kids loved when we had Bible study at our house.
It was the only time our house was
because we absolutely would clean the house before everybody came over. So I made a beautiful breakfast casserole, which I already shared on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on the TikToks, people. This is what's happening,
How old
right?
are you?
Well, I'm doing my best. That's what I know. And some sausage gravy, so I just feel super productive this morning. You're right. We need company every day.
We need company more
Can
often.
someone come over to our house, please?
So I just wanted to talk about living off of the couch yesterday. We have the privilege of going with my friend Hugh.
Yes.
On his son's first dive. 10 years old, got certified yesterday. We were his paparazzi.
We were taking...
I brought my big camera, and
video,
Rachel took the GoPro,
all
and we
the angles.
surrounded him, and we had a great time. Rachel's such a good diver, but her head gets in the way. And she gets nervous. But when you put a GoPro in her hand and give her something to do,
give me a job.
She was like, la-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You did so good.
Does that...
And I feel like not only... So he got to go on a wreck. He got to go on a reef. We saw a shark.
We did see a
Him
shark.
swimming along. You did not shoot to the surface like you always think you're going to. Because you really... It's your head more than anything, right?
It's the anticipation.
We caught lobsters. We didn't get to keep them because they were females with a bunch of eggs, but it was funny. So Rachel spotted it. I didn't even spot it. Rachel spotted the lobster. She was like, dinner. Go get dinner right there.
I can spot a Brazilian steakhouse also. Any dinner,
so I had brought the lasso going. It would be kind of cool to catch Gavin the lobster. Honestly, I would have given him the lobster, but... Anyway, so I tried to get him out, and he came out, and then he swam to a different hole, and I was like, ugh. And Hugh saw me, and Hugh's like, let me try. And so he takes it, and he gets it out, and we have this all in video, and it skirts across, and he finally gets this thing, and then we pick it up, and it's loaded with eggs. Then we had the same thing with the second one, but it was just overall fun. We did catch it and get to show it to Gavin, and
there were also dolphins.
Life off oh yeah, and dolphins.
There were dolphins. It was funny because there were some divers that were getting off the boat. They were swimming in a different section than us, and they're like, we ain't seeing anything. There were dolphins right behind him, an entire family of dolphins right behind him.
And it was like 75 feet of visibility. If they would have just turned around, they would have seen dolphins.
But I wanted to ask if I'm the only one that actually settles down a bit if you give me a job to do. Like you were saying that if you give me the GoPro, and I think to myself, I have a job, it actually provides a layer of
The biggest
comfort.
thing we have to work on you is your ears because...
Oh, it's so awful.
But it's because you're not doing something
the
right.
Pressure.
But you just have to equalize more. Like, it's like literally breath squeeze, but but the problem is your head's in the way. You get down and you start thinking, oh, my ears are going to hurt, instead of going, I can do this. But you start thinking about your ears hurting.
I'm anticipating the pain.
That's why I want to take you down on the scent line, because then you can go move a hand, And it almost tells you what to do because you're not freely dropping. You're controlling your drop.
Pick your nose. Hands, pick your nose.
Well, you're controlling how quickly you go down. So
like that.
You can go down slower. So anyway, this week is a diving week.
It is.
Yeah, we're taking Chris and Mary diving.
Oh Lord, let it be a diving week.
That storm looks like it's not affecting us. At least tomorrow's weather is
I don't want
supposed to be
it
okay.
affecting
But it looks like it may hit the northeast.
anybody.
So we gotta
I don't
keep
want
blowing.
Anybody getting it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get right into Keto Beyond the Couch. I did want to address early on when we first launched the live stream, Susan had
Susan,
put this up and said, please talk about your Harvest Right freeze dryer. I want to get one, but I'm trying to understand what I need. Like what size you have, and is it the oil-free pump or an oil pump? Do you have a link? We do have a link. I have it down below. There's a lot with a freeze dryer, and we can make our own video. I've been hesitant towards it because it is an expensive piece of equipment, although I think it's an amazing piece of equipment.
right.
And, but we can definitely make a video on it, especially now as it's getting a little bit cooler. It's a little bit easier for us to run it, even though I do have it sitting right here in the front of the run. Medium is what we have. And I think that unless you're going to do a ridiculous amount, the large is too much. But they've also updated it, and the medium now has an extra tray. Like, I would love to upgrade mine, like sell mine and get the new one.
Once you're making a batch of something, you're like, I want more room so I can make a bigger batch.
So the old one, the small had 4 trays, the medium had, or the small had 3 trays, the medium had 4 trays. Now the small has 4 trays and the medium has 5 trays. So you get an extra tray. And they supposedly have done some things to make it quicker and quieter, which is kind of like why I want to sell mine and upgrade it. But I would go with a medium. I think a medium is more than enough for most people. And we have the oil pump. Some people are going to tell you to get an oil-free pump. I like an oil pump. The reason I like an oil pump is because it's more serviceable by you. It's not that big of a deal to empty out the oil. But here's the problem is, the oil kind of traps moisture, and this is the same thing if you have a vacuum sealer. If you buy a chamber vacuum, you always want to get one with an oil pump. They're going to try to tell you oilless is better. Oilless is not better, because with an oil pump, everything goes through, and the water, the moisture gets trapped in that oil, and then you change out the oil. If you have an oil-free pump, great, it doesn't need oil to work,
right?
But there's nothing protecting you. And if you look at online at people who have problems, everybody who has problems with their pumps going down on both vacuum sealers as well as the freeze dryer, it's the pump that is oil free. I would buy the oiled pump. We have ours is green. They automatically upgrade you now.
I do have 2 announcements before we get into Keto Beyond the Couch. Number 1, I just wanted to give a shout out to Juju B, who is actually on her way to go get fingerprinted. She has been a part of our keto family for a long time. I don't know if she's actually, you may have grabbed, hopefully she shared her story this week. Oh, okay. Because I was wondering if it was already going to be a part of Keto Beyond the Couch.
Chris is in here saying howdy. I have a feeling he's like sitting in our driveway.
Oh, well, y'all come in if you're here. But in the last 6 weeks, she has really been working out, working hard, changing some things up, and she's had some amazing results. And it's given her the confidence. This is what I really love. It's given her the confidence to go head out after a long stint as a stay-at-home mom to go become a substitute teacher in her local school system. So I just wanted to tell you, Juju B, in front of everybody, I love you, girl, and I am so incredibly proud of you. This is Keto Beyond the Couch for sure. And I know that it can be challenging if you've been a stay-at-home mom for a while and you're going back to work. Just having that confidence to walk in and be like, okay, I got this. That's a really powerful thing. And I'm just super, super proud of you. Another thing is we are going to be attending a meetup, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, September 23rd. It's going to be at 10:30 in the morning in Claremont, hosted by Nancy and Sarah Joy, who's here. They said that there's a few more spaces available. So if you're interested and you are going to be around the Claremont area, send Sarah Joy or Nancy a DM in Mighty Network so you can get the information to attend this meetup. It's free, absolutely free. One thing you need to do though is bring a cover dish because it's going to be kind of like a potluck. So we're really looking forward to that. I'm bringing my bathing suit. I'm also bringing all the balls, Joe. I'm bringing a football. I'm bringing a volleyball because we're going to be able to play. It's going to be at a really nice...
Do you know how to play football?
No. So no one will want me on their team, but...
I'm not ignoring you. I'm adding something to today's show.
You absolutely know that you're going to win if you do play against me. So... we're going to have some fun. Just get together and fellowship. All right. I am totally ready.
You're
now.
ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. I just wanted to add this
You look like you're doing some graphic design over there.
Yeah. I wanted to add something in to talk about vitamins later.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's one of the questions. And it's also the theme of today's Keto Beyond the Couch.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're talking about vitamins.
Vitamins.
What vitamins do you need on keto?
You need a ruminant animal.
Pretty
much cover it.
You're spoiling the surprise.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. First of all, if you are new to our channel, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about subscribers. We love to celebrate our subscribers. We are all about community. That's why our channel exists. So every Monday we do this live, where we try to do this live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And we like to pull comments, celebrate success stories, things that people in our community are doing to lift each other up. We encourage you, please join our community. You can go to members.2crazyketos.com. It is completely free. Now, if you choose to support us financially, you can do that on there as well on a $5, a $10, or a $25 level, but it is absolutely not mandatory. But what is mandatory is to be a part of community. And that's what we try to do. We try to really encourage that. We're going to start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor Week. This was a inspirational post that somebody put up, and it's also from like somebody who has always inspired me, which is Maya Angelou.
Oh,
and
yes.
Kimmy put this up and said,
"Hey, Kimmy,
do the best you can until you know better, and then when you know better, do better."
Oh my goodness. Okay, so hello. I did not know that I was going to do my best. But yes, always listen to Maya Angelou. You know, I had the privilege of interviewing her once when I was young. And I've got to say, there was such like a pace of grace about that woman. I mean, she was absolutely an artist, such a tender, kind person. I really appreciate the opportunity to meet her in person. But yes, do your best. And that's my question today. As I was putting on my shirt this morning, I was thinking, that's the most we could ask of ourselves. I'm going to do my best. Am I going to be perfect? No, it's impossible to be perfect. But I can bring my best. Can I bring my best
Anybody who tells you they're perfect, you need to run the other way.
Right, but I can bring my best to my conversations. I want to bring my best to my relationship with Joe. I want to be the best wife that I can be to you. I want to be the best mom I can be. Lord knows, mama tried. I am not a perfect mother, but I want to bring my best. I want to bring my best to work, and I want to bring my best to the way that I eat. I think that is very important. I used to settle for much less than best. I would almost eat whatever you tossed at me, right? And I now try to bring my best to mealtime as well. And then when you know better, when I know what is a proper human diet, I need to eat that. I need to eat that thing. That would be doing my best.
Chris said, we're so tired we wouldn't even notice a dinosaur-sized pile of roof shingles in the middle of the floor.
I bet. Of course it is.
I know that.
Bulk
I know that flight.
Trash day.
And Caleb did his room.
And
I emptied the RV.
And it looks like we're the entire reason why the neighborhood has bulk trash. It looks like that the bulk trash pickup can just be one stop in front of our house. Because yes, Caleb decided he was going to replace his bed, replace his desk, and it was so cute. He was putting it all together. This was really his first attempt at putting furniture together that is like an airplane. You know how like that IKEA furniture, Amazon furniture, it comes in 1 billion parts. And it was a real test of his and Tasha's relationship to put those two items together.
You weren't awake while they were discussing it.
I literally was like, I'm going to leave because I knew there's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? I don't want to help. I knew that this was a couple opportunity.
He's better than me because when I'm doing that and Rachel tries to hover over me, I'm like,
you got to go.
You need to go.
It could be a relationship breaker.
I cannot stand anybody looking over my shoulder when I work.
But he finished it. It worked.
He did.
And they're still together, which I think is a testimony.
Let's move on. We're going to move into our subscriber of the week. We have our first one is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
She said, I just needed to share a non-scale victory with my keto family. These were the pants I wore when I started keto in May of 2021.
Oh my gracious, Stacy! Look at that. That is so incredible. Stacy has actually been featured on the cover of Women's World. I have a signed, autographed copy of that magazine. So stinking proud of you, Stacy. You just continue to be just a beacon of hope for so many.
Next one we have is from Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Karen said, I've been working out twice a week for 3 years with a personal trainer at
Wow.
Jane's home. I also have a gym membership, which I use the hydro massage table and sometimes the tanning bed. I've only worked out at the gym twice, and once was with my trainer. I guess I keep hoping I will go and work out. I think I need to cancel the membership. I can't do it by myself. For some reason, I am the type of person who needs to pay someone to keep me accountable. But I am okay about this.
Yeah.
I've lost 30 pounds in building muscle. I've gone from a 3X shirt to a large, and I've lost a bunch of inches. I'm really proud of myself and loving the changes I am seeing. It's been slow, but that's okay. I'm a work in progress. 3X to a large is not slow.
That is incredible.
That is awesome.
Fantastic.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, Karen! You look fantastic, girl. Way to go. Way to get that workout in. And yes, the best thing that you can do is discover something about yourself and then move forward with that information. If you find that you are not going to go to the gym on your own, or you need an accountability partner to stay on keto, why don't you get that thing? If you need a coach, sometimes you are not going to do something for free. It can be perfectly free, but you need to invest some money in something in order for you to be all in for that thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we are coaches. I'm a certified master health coach. You don't need a coach if you just want to know how to do stuff, because it's freely available on the internet. We have lots of videos. Dr. Barry has videos and everything like that. What a coach does is a coach will a lot of times help you to figure out where you step.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite movies is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
No, you mean The Last Crusade.
And The Last Crusade. Well, they're all my favorite. But in The Last Crusade, and towards the end of the movie, you've got Sean Connery has made this diary of how to find the Grail. And Indiana Jones is trying to go through and figure out, which way to go and all the different
booby
traps.
trap.
It's actually in the very first movie, too, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, a very similar kind of thing. But he's got these stepping stones, and he's got to remember what's in the diary. Right? And so as he's going, what is the diary? The diary is a coach. It's telling him, step here, step here,
Where to step next.
That's what a coach is going to do. It's going to tell you, hey, make this step, because if you make this step, you're probably going to fall. Can you figure it out on your own? Yeah, absolutely. But you may fall a few times. You may have to back up a few times. A coach just helps you get there a little bit faster sometimes. And sometimes a coach gives you the kick in the butt that you need. I need the kick in the butt.
Right, me too.
I'm not a self-motivating person for certain things. Some things I am, some things I'm not. Working out, not so much. So when you recognize I need someone, get that person. And sometimes, like you said, money is a motivator.
It is.
And I mean, like our friend Jay's talked about this in the past, like everything that you see at a conference, like a lot of these talks, they're available at home. You can watch them all on YouTube. I mean, Dr. Barry's talk, you can watch it on YouTube. But when you're at home watching it on YouTube, you're probably doing laundry, mopping the floor, vacuuming the house, working on homework. You've got stuff going on in the background and you're not 100%. But when you put money to it, all
You're
of
like,
a sudden,
notes,
right?
paying attention.
Why do we go to concerts? Right? You
Right.
can listen to the music for free.
There's more of an investment.
Right?
And so you're super present and
Right.
you enjoy it. Like you get more out of it.
Yeah. So sometimes we just need to do that. Let's take a quick fade to black.
And it worked. I wasn't sure for a minute there if it was going to work.
YouTube is making it now that you have no choice on commercials.
Oh.
Like before and after and yeah. So
All the commercials.
yeah, they just want to do things. Couple of comments I saw. Tennessee Bill said,
Hey,
hello
Tennessee
everyone.
Bill.
It's great to be alive. I'm officially down 70 pounds. 391 to 321.
Way to
I am
go.
blessed.
It's a great day to be alive. What is that, Travis Tritt song?
Teresa said, Joe, did you see my email response to your email coming to Florida to dive?
Oh, how fun.
I did return your message, but I don't know why you didn't get it. Yeah, I sent you a couple places to go in Belize as well as Roatan. As far as Florida, the day that you're coming back from the cruise is the day of our meetup up in the Orlando area. But also, if you're gonna dive, you would have to dive Fort Lauderdale. You don't have enough time to get to the Keys. Not from when the ship gets in to get to the Keys and hit a boat. You'd have to do an afternoon dive in the boat. But I'm going to tell you, I would discourage that because your boat trip is going to be, I mean, it's close, but your boat trip is going to go out at 1:30. You're going to get back at 5:30 and you're flying at 5 o'clock the next day. That's 24 hours. That's the maximum or the minimum that I would always tell someone to between diving and flying, although you can technically get away with it. I would not. I never risk pushing things. And so, to me, I would not dive that close. But
To your flight out.
If you do want to dive, you would have to do the afternoon dive because you won't be in early enough for the morning dives because they leave at 8:30 in the morning. And you can do the afternoon dive, and I can tell you who to go. You go through South Florida Diving. And if you need to rent gear, you can rent it from our shop. We can also hook you up with tickets and everything. F&P Feel Good said, I hope I get the courage to share some progress photos in a YouTube video
Yay.
soon. Maybe after this week's photo, the difference is awesome for just about a month of 0 pounds lost.
Way to go. So proud of you.
Okay, next comment is from Nancy.
Hey, Nancy. I made some of Joe's carnivore nuggets today for our Labor Day picnic with some burgers and hot dogs. They were wonderful and have some for leftovers. Probably the healthiest picnic that we've ever had. Thank you, Joe. You need to make some. I was going to request that actually for this week. So I should have had you prep them yesterday.
Yeah.
Those are
we
so
need some chicken
good.
breast.
They're really, really good.
Next one is from Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Applying the skin tag, we were talking about the sensors last week. Applying the skin tag to the sensor tape works better and easier.
Oh,
so
nice.
instead of putting it on your skin, she's saying put it right on the tape.
Okay.
That way you don't have a bigger sticker area than needed and just wait until it's gotten a tacky to insert it. Then you can put the waterproof patch over the center. I like the Lexcam brand overlays and patches.
Good advice.
And she is a type 1 diabetic for 26 years.
Wow, thanks for sharing that, Marie. Because, yeah, I've heard a lot of people are having a hard time with, like, the adhesive.
Yeah.
So this is going to make it stickier.
I think the skin tack is great. I would
think
definitely use that.
I think that's a really weird name for it.
But that's the
because
name
I
for
associate with a skin tag, which is like, ew, I don't want that. I don't want another skin tag.
Tack.
I used to have skin tags all the time before keto. It's weird though. I don't know if you've experienced that. Let us know. Like I actually had skin tags fall off after keto.
Yeah. Next one's from Synergy.
Hey, Synergy Joe, do you know of a good outdoor grill that is portable? I'm in an apartment with no private outdoor space, so I'd need to bring it inside when not using it. I think a grill is really a necessity for times when electricity is out for an extended time, like after a hurricane.
Yeah. There goes my air compressor. I agree. Like for us, like, yes, we have 3 generators. I have a big generator, 2 little generators, and I have the RV, and I'm upgrading it to a ridiculous amount of battery power. But I do think that having propane stuff is super important for hurricanes. Even listen, if you're in a place where you can get snowed in and you can lose your electricity, it may be cold, but at least you could cook on a gas grill. So I do always tell people I think you should have some kind of a gas grill or charcoal, but like
Ooh,
that
I love
that
the
that
flavor.
relates. That's lighting fire and everything like that.
Don't you love the flavor of a charcoal grilled hamburger?
Of course.
There's something special about it.
But as far as what you should get, if you want something small that you can like get, it's portable. Cuisinart makes a really good one. I actually left a link for one down below. I see a lot of people who camp with it because it's so small and it can fit into a pass-through for an RV, and it runs on propane. Also, one that I've used as well, it's very similar to the one from Cuisinart, is the one from Coleman. And again, you can just like Coleman portable gas grill, and it comes with a stand and everything, and it all folds up nice and small. But those were the two that I would recommend. Next one is from Michael.
Hey, Michael, can you share the brand of your generator, please? Happy birthday, Rachel. Thanks, Michael.
So like I said, we have 3 generators, not associated at all. So we have a big one, which we actually have a plug on our house. I used to run it into my dryer. But we have a plug on our house where you turn off the main, and then you flip on this other switch, and you can plug directly from the generator in the house, and it will run everything in the house that's not 240.
Right.
So it won't run our air conditioner, it won't run our hot water heater, it won't run our dryer, and it won't run our stove, but it would run our microwave. Like, you could power everything instead of running extension cords. It's like 8,500 watts or something like that. That is a champion. I left a link for it down below. What I like about that generator, and this, I know this doesn't sound like keto, but this is good for people to be prepared.
Yeah.
Right? What I like about that one is it's dual fuel. It runs on propane or gasoline. Propane's not nearly as efficient and costs you a lot more money to run. However, if you run it on propane, you don't have to worry about gas gumming up and
Cleaning
then
it out.
and the carburetor being bad the next time you try to start it. So long as you're always running it on propane, great. But what's better about that is what happens if you have a bunch of propane but you can't get gasoline, or what happens if you can get gasoline but you can't get propane. So it's nice to have that. You can go either way. So our intention would always be run it on propane, but if we run out of propane, we can use gas. And so we like having
Nice to have a backup.
I store during hurricane season 75 gallons of fuel in drums in my backyard, and we have a whole bunch of those propane tanks.
Well, and one of the reasons why we store so much gas is that we can help people to cut down trees and things like that in the event of a hurricane. We've done that in the past, where it's like people get kind of stuck in their houses. We can help because we've got a lot of lawn
Rachel,
stuff.
we had gotten hit by a hurricane, and we had no gas down here for like 3 weeks, and so I needed diesel because on all the diesel, and I own a landscaping business. And so I had a Ford Mustang stick shift. I threw like 6 empty jugs into the trunk of my car and drove to Orlando to get 30 gallons of diesel fuel so that I can come home so I can actually work. So, and oh, by the way, the other 2 generators, if you just want a small emergency generator, I think they're amazing, is the generators from Harbor Freight.
Which we were so
the
surprised.
Inverter generators, not the frame. The frame generators, you never want to run like your computers or anything with sensitive electronics with that, unless you have a surge protector on your house, because you can fry your computers. So you want an inverter generator. They're quiet, they're small. They have a small one, it's like $500. It's like 2,000 watts, and then they have a next one up is like 3,500 watts. That one's about $800, I think. They're a lot cheaper than Hondas, but they work really well, and they are a third of the price. So that's what we have. Those are the 3 we have.
Thank you, Lori, to your daughter Wampy, who wished me a happy birthday. I really appreciate that.
Next one's from Janet.
Hey, Janet. Do you think that the stevia in Relight can cause a stall? I drink it every day, a few times a day, like a third to half servings each time.
It should not cause a stall because it's stevia, which is 0 on the glycemic index and should not be raising your glucose. With that being said, as Dr. Berry has talked about, it's raining.
It is raining.
It's, as Dr. Berry has talked about, some people do suffer from something called the cephalic insulin response, which is your body releasing insulin every time it thinks it's getting something sweet, or every time it thinks it's getting sugar. So when you would drink stevia, it's going to think it's getting sugar, so it begins to give some insulin to counteract that. doesn't last long, and there's no way of knowing really if you experience it, and it is still a theory, okay? But it makes sense, because I can tell you, if I drink Diet Coke throughout the day, I gain weight.
Drink it with a meal.
So what I would say is try to do it with meals. But if you really are worrying, are you in a stall and you think that's what's causing it, go without it for 2 weeks and see if it breaks the stall.
If
but
anything changes.
There's a lot of things that can cause stalls. Like for me, sleep. Sleep is huge. Stress management, it's huge. Not moving, it's huge. Like, I'm not saying you have to go spend 3 hours a day in the gym, but you need to move. So those are all things that could be causing stalls. Next one is from Lois.
Hey Lois, just left Texas de Brazil. First time there. My son-in-law tapped out before I did. Yes, I love that. Started my keto journey again 2 weeks ago. I've lost over 12 pounds with about 50 more to go. Lois, that is incredible. Talk about like some success right from the get-go. I love it. And yeah, I absolutely can eat all 3 of my boys under the table whenever we go to a Brazilian steakhouse.
You can eat me under the table.
I know I can.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with some more comments.
I hope it clears up for Chris and Miriam. I really want them to enjoy. I want them to enjoy themselves so hard. I think I'm making it rain. I'm making it complicated. That's what I'm doing.
We were reading a book this morning. It was talking about like the whole book is talking about watch your mouth and think about like what you say and things like that. It
matters how you speak to your loved ones.
I thought it was funny because they were talking about like people who seem to do better are people who are more go with the flow. Which is definitely me.
Not us.
I am definitely more of a go with the flow.
I am not a go with the flow.
Not a planner. You
I want to control
it
stuff.
Okay, but you've got like better. All of these plans and you're freaking out about it. And
I'm a mom. I am a natural facilitator. I like facilitating things so that people can be successful, which means that you've got to have like a scaffolding built for people and for circumstances. So, I do have an itinerary for the day and I like to know what's going on. And then I marry this joker and it's just like, throw out. Like he almost wants to like, hey, can I have this schedule so I can ball it up and throw it? Like, yeah, I'm getting better.
You're handling my crazy.
Just a couple of pesky decades and I calmed down. That's all I needed.
Next one's from
Maja. Anyone refill their Nespresso pods? I recently started and just refilled a batch adding elements to them. We'll know how it works tomorrow. That's really interesting.
So we actually have a video on how to fill Nespresso pods, so refill them, and we actually review several different types. I left the link for that video down below. I've never thought about putting element in them.
I think that's a great idea.
You should try putting the chocolate element in one.
I think that would be some delicious coffee.
That would be really good.
That would be really good.
Next one is from James.
Hey James, what vitamins does anyone take due to lacking vitamins on the carnivore diet? Or just any suggestions to help with leg swelling and feet? Along with headaches once a week, I drink a lot of water with salt. I take potassium, fish oil due to not liking fish, 7-type magnesium supplement. I have read a lot of posts and watched a lot of videos. I've tried some the last 2 weeks and woke up with a bad tension headache this morning. I think, am I hydrating enough?
Okay, so if you have a headache, good chance it's probably sodium. We all think we're eating enough sodium, and we're probably not.
We think we're eating way too much.
You really need to be consuming well over 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day, like more than a teaspoon for the most part, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. And so long as you're drinking water, your body is going to just flush out excess sodium. It's really good at maintaining the level of sodium that you're supposed to have. So if you take in a bunch of extra salt and you're consuming fluids, your body will just flush it out. Actually, the first place it flushes it out is through giving you diarrhea.
Yeah.
So that's why if you're constipated, 2 things to do: increase fat, increase salt. So, what I recommend as far as excess things to take in on the carnivore diet. Pretty much the only thing you really need is the Keto Chow Daily Minerals that Dr. Barry designed.
Yeah.
He designed those to give us the minerals that are missing in our food due to the over farming and the way that we raise everything and the fact that we're farming on minerally depleted land and nutrient depleted land. As far as vitamins, you can pretty much get all of your vitamins from meat, so long as you are making it diverse. And this is what I wanted to pull up. I wanted to show this. This is actually from our beef, butter, bacon, and egg course. And so I've got green in there, but oh well.
Hello.
So anyway, let me see if I can fix that. Why don't you talk for a second while I fix that?
No trouble doing that, right? Like, just go do something right now. Mama Bear Lynette, let's see what she's saying. When planning, I assume the worst possible scenario and problem solve for that. If it happens, I'm all good. If it doesn't happen, I'm all good, even better. Okay, that is me. That is absolutely, I am the same personality with that, because I would rather plan and then not use it than not have a plan and then just be like sitting there with my butt hanging out.
Okay, I'm going to go back. There's no way to get rid of the green, but I can do this.
Okay.
We can do this, and then I can no, I can't do that.
Turn off the computer?
You're just going to have to deal with seeing this through there. So anyway, if you look at plants versus animals and nutrients, folate B9, plants, animals, vitamin C, you can basically get it in all. When you look at iron, you get it in from animals. It's more bioavailable, vitamin D, everything comes in the form of animals. And we actually have another slide in our beef, butter, bacon, egg course that talks about you get like 10 times more vitamins than you would by eating vegetables. And the thing is that even most of the vegetables we're consuming, they don't have the nutrients people think they do because we're farming on nutrient-depleted lands. The vitamins that you're buying in the store are, unless you're spending ridiculous amounts of money, they're just going right through you because they're not bioavailable. They can, it's like magnesium oxide. You know, they can slap like a label like this has magnesium, this has vitamin A.
You're not
but it doesn't
lying.
mean your body can actually use it. So what is the best way to get vitamins and all the vitamins you need on a carnivore or a keto diet? 3 foods: ruminant animals, salmon roe, and beef liver. If you can consume those 3 things, you're going to get pretty much every single vitamin that you need in the appropriate amounts. Also, eggs.
Yes, because everything you need to make a chicken is in that egg.
Yeah.
So I get a little chicken heart, a little chicken liver, all of the chicken is in the egg.
And like how much beef liver should you eat? This one is super simple.
Yeah.
How much beef liver is in
a cow?
A full cow.
Right.
How much cow do you eat? You want to eat, so for every full cow that you would eat that much beef liver.
So it takes us, we get
about
a cow
nose to tail.
Like a year.
About a year.
So
you should eat an entire beef liver over the course of a year.
Yeah. You don't have to like be trying to eat an entire beef liver every single week.
Right.
Which is what I thought I used to have to do.
Okay, next one is from Lenka.
Hey, Lenka. Big non-scale victory today. My very fit doctor told me today that he wished that his blood work was as good as mine. Of course, I told him about my ketovore lifestyle, 250 pounds lost and healthy. That is a huge distinction because I've lost weight before, but I was not healthy before. That's a huge difference. And I think a lot of times we only look at the outward appearance and not looking at what's going on in the lab work, right? So we need to be jealous for people's lab work. That's the thing that you need to set your sights on. Stop focusing on what we look like on the outside and start looking at what is going on inside of our body, what healing is taking place. Because I think a lot of times, I was talking to somebody recently about how they got their lab work done. A friend who has never had a weight loss issue got their lab work done. And their friend felt absolutely betrayed by their body because they had no idea that there was any unhealthiness, because they're like, but I don't need to lose weight.
Right.
But that is so not it. That is not the testimony of like perfect health is I don't need to lose a little bit of weight. It's almost, you know, we've talked to a lot of doctors about how it's almost better to be like overweight, because then you know I need to do something. I need to work on something. A lot of times things go undiagnosed if someone's like, oh, I never need to check myself because I don't need to lose a bunch of weight.
Right.
It could be more dangerous.
Here, I pulled up that other chart. I wanted to show this.
Oh, there you go.
So here you go. Vitamin A. If you ate 100 grams of spinach, right, you're going to get, you got your carbohydrates for the recommended daily allowance, 20% vitamin B9, 0% of B12, 52% of vitamin C, D2 you're going to is the only kind of vitamin D you're going to get, 11% of your vitamin E. So you look down that list. Then look over, for vitamin A, if you eat 100 grams of beef liver, you get 2,200% of the vitamin A. Vitamin B9, you get 60%. Vitamin B, people say, oh, I need vitamin B. In 100 grams of beef liver, you get 2,000% of the recommended daily allowance. 164% if you eat steak. 600% if you eat salmon roe. So you go down the line and look at vitamin D. You're not even getting it in spinach either. You need sun. That's how you're going to unlock your vitamin D in your body. So that's why if you eat beef liver, beef steak, or honestly, the beef steak, we can say it's any kind of ruminant animal, then
deer,
you're going to get
sheep,
everything that you need.
Goat.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, back over to this. Is this one? Oh, we need Properzeron. There we go.
There you go. You already read that one.
This one. Naturally Queen Robinson.
There you go.
Said, I've been craving yogurt, y'all, so I did a thing this evening. The full-fat yogurt with lower carb count was almost $7. No way was I doing that. So I strolled over to cottage cheese, which was $3.50. Carb count was the same, so I decided to get it. Let me tell you, I got home, I added some French vanilla, monk fruit, and stevia, threw it in my magic bullet. Why I haven't done this before, I don't know, but the next time I'm craving yogurt, I will be grabbing cottage cheese. That's awesome. I love cottage cheese. So the only thing is I will tell you, yogurt is healthier for you because you get the gut bacteria. You're gonna help your gut bacteria and your gut biome because it's a fermented food. But you could make your own yogurt, and it's gonna be even a lot less carbs than anything you're buying in the store and any kind of cottage cheese. So I left a link for our video. We have a couple of videos. But we left the link down below. You can make a full fat. You can make a half fat. You can make a fat free. You can make a double fat. The double fat is just like all the other ones, only you're going to add some heavy cream to it.
And it becomes
it's like 1 carb per serving.
It's delicious, and it becomes a great base for a lot of salad dressings too.
Yeah.
Like we do a lot with it. We make blue cheese dressing, best you're ever going to have. Delicious blue cheese dressing with it.
Yeah, and
very
so
versatile.
All you need with it is a container of Fairlife milk, which costs about $4.50, and then you need a starter. So you can buy little tablets which if Chris is on here, he could probably put a link for one. He buys little tablets on Amazon. Or you can cheat the way we do, and you go and buy just a single serving of like Fahe yogurt.
Yeah.
You can use other brands. I think Fahe is the best one. It really comes out thick. And what you do is you just put a couple spoons of that in there, and then you finish that little cup up, and then the next time you make more yogurt, you use a couple spoons from what your last batch was, and you can basically do that 4 times and then start over again. But you're going to get triple the yogurt for about $5 that you would for that $7 container, but you're going to get triple the amount.
It's really tasty.
You end up with, I don't know, a little bit less than a half a gallon of yogurt. So it starts off with a half a gallon.
Now I want yogurt,
and then you come
Joe.
down. We can do that. Next one is from Keto Going.
Hey, Keto Going. I'm about to do a half marathon obstacle course run, just trying to plan out what type of fuel I need to consume, like keto chow / fat bomb, and how often on the ketones supplement. Way to go.
If you're doing a marathon, honestly, if you're doing it on keto, you don't need to consume food. It's not like all of these carb people who are going to do all the little packs and eat a whole bunch of pasta, because you can go for
your body will
like
use
over
you
40 hours as a fat-fueled source person on a marathon. If you want to load up a little bit, I would just do some good fats like the night before to kind of help you out. The problem with exogenous ketones, if you're doing ketone supplements, which some of these marathons will actually ban them, but the problem with them is they only last like 20 or 30 minutes. But you really don't need it. What you do need is electrolytes. You need to make sure you've got like Element or Redmond Relay or Keto Chow electrolytes in like every sip of water you drink while you're on that marathon. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Gal Pal, who is requesting that I give a shout out to Beth, who is starting a keto lifestyle. I am tickled pink to shout Beth out. I know you can do this, Beth. Do not give up. You are just getting started on keto. We would love to come alongside and cheer you on. Send me a message if you need any help, but we are super, super excited that you're starting keto. That's really
awesome.
exciting.
Next one's from Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa, I have the opposite of a non-scale victory, a negative consequence of losing weight. I always tuck my reading glasses and sunglasses in the collar of the shirt. Now they're always falling on the ground because I don't have the same amount of cleavage to tuck them in. Skinny girl problems. I totally hear you. What I have noticed, that's really hilarious, because you're so used to having a certain size chest. And when things change, because you don't get to decide where the weight comes off, but I'm telling you right from the get-go, boobs. You are going to lose your boobs, all right? I was a double D at one point. Now I'm a lowercase a, let's be honest. And when you start out, your grease stain shifts, because it used to be whenever I would drop food out of my mouth, it would always hit my chest. Now there is no chest to hit. So now I have grease stains on my pants because that's where it lands. There's no obstruction anymore, but I totally feel your pain. That's really cute.
Next one's from Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, I found keto starting with chronometer and macros done with a calculator, net carbs. Lost 13 pounds in about 2 weeks. Scary because I was on my last 20, but not surprising. It had me eating 1,032 calories. I was always in therapeutic ketosis. Ketones were around 7. I need help, coach help. I am suddenly going up in weight, currently up 5 pounds, and scrambling to figure out what is going on. Anyone know a coach that can help set my macros or set me straight on what is going wrong? I'm desperate, but retired with no income. Long story, had to retire early, ironically, for health reasons. My husband's retirement pays the bills, but I cannot ask him to pay for a coach. Heard 2 Crazy Ketos say recently to do total carbs and don't count macros. They mentioned someone's calorie limit was too low. I am so confused. Try to adjust calories up to 1,200 and carbs to net, still gaining. I'm truly ready to just go back to intermittent fasting and screw the carbohydrate deal. My blood glucose runs around 72 to 78 every morning, no matter what, just barely back in ketosis after calorie change. Weighing and measuring food stinks, macros stink, blood draw that never move stinks. Man,
Okay.
I can feel the frustration, Kelly.
I've got a lot to say here, but I don't want to offend.
Okay.
But number one, yes, the reason you probably grew up 13 pounds in 2 weeks because you did not lose 13 pounds of fat.
Right.
Let's just be clear. I don't care how little you're eating. You don't lose 13 pounds of fat in 2 weeks. A lot of that was water, because if you're eating carbohydrates, then you stop eating carbohydrates, your body releases all the glycogen stores, and that's why we get this giant whoosh at the beginning. That's also why if you're on a keto diet and then you eat some carbohydrates, you tend to gain 4 or 5 pounds overnight. Didn't mean you gain 4 or 5 pounds of fat. And I'm not telling anybody that it is okay to go eat carbohydrates because you're only gaining water weight, because it's a hole you don't want to go down.
No.
Okay. But remember what we said earlier from Maya Angelou? Like, when you know better, you do better.
Yep.
Right? You now know better. You know better that the carbohydrates and the sugar is not good for us. So we want to continue to do better and not go backwards. I like to talk about, like, I can't unsee this stuff. Like, we will never give our granddaughter sugar, ever. Like whether her parents at some point decide to do it, whether her parents at some point decide to allow her to have like bread, that's on them. But I can tell you when our grandchildren come to our house, they will never get sugar or pasta or bread or any of that kind. We're going to spoil her in other ways, like with time and doing things with her.
Yeah.
Because I know better. I know what this stuff does to our body, and I can't, in good conscience, give it to my grandchild. It's why we don't hand out candy on Halloween anymore, because I can't give it to kids. It's why when we were in kids ministry, we stopped handing out candy, because I know what it does, and I just don't want to encourage that. So that's probably why you dropped the 13 pounds. Then we're going to talk about 1,000 calories is too low. It's not enough food. You do need to. Why are you gaining weight? Because your metabolism slowed down. You probably, and again, you don't tell us enough here, but you probably reached the weight, lost where you wanted, and then began eating a little bit more. And so your body is just going to put some weight on for a little while until it can stabilize. You need to increase the amount you're eating. You're going to have to do it very slowly, like 25 to 50 to maybe 75 calories a week over the course of like 2 to 3 months.
That's going to be easy to do. I mean, like a pat of butter is 100 calories.
And best case scenario is you won't gain.
Right.
You're probably not going to lose any weight, and you might gain. You might gain a little bit of weight, but you're not going to be gaining a lot of fat. You're going to be gaining bone density and muscle so long as you're eating the right foods. What are the right foods? Starting with meat, maybe a little bit of veggies. Net carbs, you got to stop net carbs. Net carbs is a game that was made up by the food industry to sell you products. If you want to count net carbs in vegetables, like your salad or your asparagus, have at it.
If God made it.
But if it comes in a package, it's total carbs. Only count total carbs. And don't play a game of it fits my macros. Like, oh, an Oreo cookie's got 10 carbs and I'm allowed to have 20, so I'm going to eat one Oreo cookie.
Hey, do your best.
Right?
That ain't the best.
Net carbs is garbage, and it's made up, and it's only going to derail you. I can easily turn 200 total carbs into 0 net carbs. That is going to derail me. It's going to make me gain weight. So the first thing you're going to need to do is reverse your metabolism with a reverse diet to be able to eat more. You probably end up somewhere around 2,000 calories. Then you'll find like you can drop it to 1,800 calories and you'll lose weight. We can help you with your macros. If you go sign up on Mighty Networks, members.2crazyketos.com. Send Rachel or I a message. You don't have to pay for the membership or anything like that. We can help you out, but I don't believe in really doing macros, because you should be eating 2 or 3 times a day, whole foods, starting and focusing on meat, eating until you're full. You don't have to count anything. Where do you have to count? When you start adding in packaged products. Then you have to start counting stuff. Or if you're going to eat like 8 times a day. If you're going to do that, you're going to struggle no matter what, because every time you eat, you release insulin, and every time you release insulin, you can't lose weight, because insulin is a growth hormone. It's a fat storing hormone.
And I think you have to change your mind a little bit. This is the hardest part. What I want is for you to tell me what is my macros and do that for a short period of time. And what you want to actually do is eat the right food for a consistent amount of time. So it's like a flip. I can't just give you like, here's the perfect math equation and you're just going to do this for 3 weeks and you're going to get like your results. No, it's going to be consistency in life, not focused on macros, but focused on what is your body telling you. When it is authentically hungry, you eat the proper food. When it is authentically full, you don't question it or try to push it. You just be like, we're done for right now. And I go on and focus on other things.
And also make sure you're getting electrolytes in. And here's the thing, we're not meant to count.
Yeah.
I know this is a touchy subject when people are like, I have to count. We're not meant to count. Like, our ancestors didn't count. And Laura Ingalls did not count her macros.
Can you imagine on Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon standing in the kitchen and it's like about to like eat, make up his plate for dinner. And it's like, wait, let me pull up my chronometer abacus and move the beads around until I decide what is the best plate of food for me.
Right.
No, because he knew I'm going to eat until I'm full because I've got hard work to do. I'm going to be moving my body day. He wasn't going to the gym, but he was doing functional fitness around the house, right?
We're not meant to count. American Indians didn't count. So that's number one. Number two, you have to look at keto as a lifestyle. If you are coming to keto, if you're coming to keto to do keto, lose weight, and then go back off of keto to the standard American diet, quit now.
Yeah, don't frustrate yourself.
And I know that sounds harsh, but it's not going to work. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to do keto. You're going to lose weight. You're going to go back to the standard American diet. You're going to go back to eating sugar, pasta, grains, breads, all of that kind of stuff. You're going to gain weight, and you're going to go, keto doesn't work. It's not keto. It's the fact that you went off of keto. Keto is not a diet. It is a lifestyle. It is a health optimization diet who has a side effect of weight loss.
I actually find that if you've got one foot in both worlds, it can really be a problem because, when we came to keto and we left the standard American diet behind with all of the sugar and the carbohydrates, we stepped into full fat flavor. And that was an amazing awakening. And we were able to be like, I'm letting go of the past and embracing this delicious fatty food. If you are trying to straddle both camps, you are going to have a taste for carbohydrates and a taste for fatty foods.
Right.
That is a terrible combination. You can see where that would not be a good thing.
Look at standard American diet foods like hamburger on a bun with french fries, fried in seed oils.
This is not
It's
good.
like a recipe for disaster.
It is, and it's just going to frustrate yourself even more.
Yeah. Next one is from Andy.
Hey, Andy.
I guess this question is from Michelle Stauffer.
Oh, our daughter.
My daughter gave birth on Saturday, and I want to make her some snacks and some small things that she can eat while nursing. She's not keto, but I want to make some low-sugar snacks, so I feel she's getting the best nutrition and relieving my high anxiety about her eating high-carb crap and increasing the risk for a bad metabolism. I don't want her to go through what I have. Anyone have any ideas? I'm visiting them today. I'll keep making things for her for weeks, so anything I don't get today, I'll get next week and the weeks to come. Thanks. And Michelle did answer,
nice thing.
but I thought that this was good for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so the things that I would recommend are things that everybody wants to eat anyway. Make our bacon jerky.
Yes.
Make meat crisps. Make our carnivore crackers.
Carnivore nuggets.
Get cheese plates, I know Michelle still survives off of meat sticks. She likes to get meat sticks.
Well, one of the things that Michelle really enjoys is her lunch being still within her control. And a lot of times if we always joke that iced coffee became a thing because a stay-at-home mom never got to actually enjoy a hot cup of coffee. By the time she got to her morning coffee, it was cold anyway. So she decided to embrace it, and now we have, ta-da, iced coffee. So it's the same thing with Michelle. She's like, I am going to put together charcuterie type things, even if it's the little grape tomatoes and different vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower that's cold, cheese wedges, some of those the Laughing Cow cheese, the little circular cheese that's done, Parm crisps, like you're saying, meat sticks, beef jerky. These are all things that are intended to be served at room temperature or even cold. So, in the past, if you're like, I made this hot lunch for myself, but because the baby needed all of these things, I didn't get to my hot lunch, and now I have to have a sad cold lunch. If you start off being like, I'm going to make chicken salad, and it's going to be cold, then I'm not upset when I eat cold chicken salad. It was as intended, right? So any of those things that you have made up for yourself is a good lunch.
I think we have one more. From Zanetta.
Hey, Zanetta.
I'm starting to get scared of continuing metformin. I have been between 115 to 130 sometimes. However, a lot of times recently I'm around an 80 to 96, 76 when I add more fat. When it's 90 or less, I'm not sure about taking the meds. I want to experiment and see if maybe I can stop taking it altogether. 1 month since restarting and I finally completely committed to being a lifer. What are your thoughts or where I should go from here? Okay, so number one, we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. Everything that we discuss, everything that we've done is based on what we've only personally experienced, what we've heard, what we've learned and studied, and from talking to people who are doctors, nurses, and health professionals. When you go on keto, whether you're a diabetic or not, one of the results is lower glucose. If you are a diabetic, whether it be a type 1 or a type 2 who is being medicated, you're going to have to watch your glucose pretty carefully, which is in a place where I will absolutely recommend you get a CGM. The reason that you need to watch it is because your glucose is going to go down. Just if this was me, I would not be taking metformin. If your glucose, and if she had another post where like her glucose was in the 80s, there's no reason to take metformin. Metformin is lowering your glucose. Your glucose is already down because you're not eating sugar.
Right.
The bottom line is, if you want to be honest, where was metformin designed? It was designed so we could continue to eat sugar as a diabetic.
Yeah.
When I was growing
That's
up,
horrifying.
I remember my mother always being, because my mother was a physician, and I remember my mother, you don't want to get diabetes, you never get to eat sugar again, and that's how it was. Like, if you were a diabetic, you never had sugar again. Ever.
Now, you don't need to change your behavior.
It's like, yeah, hey, you know what?
Just
You're a
sprinkle it on top.
diabetic, eat all the icing off the top of the cake. I know people who have done this. Eat all the icing off the top of the cake and pop a pill. And then you can still have your sugar. But that's not the answer. The answer is don't eat the sugar.
Well, and you've said that you've committed to being a lifer. If you're going to continue with this keto life, then I feel pretty comfortable that you're going to continue to see, stable numbers that you can count on.
What I would do, if it was me, I would go cold turkey. But I'm very weird and I don't like going to doctors. What I would suggest is talk to your physician. Mm-hmm. I would go to my physician and say, listen, I'm eating this life. Now, if your doctor says like I don't like keto, you probably want to find a new doctor.
Tell them you're doing a whole foods approach. That usually is easier.
Yeah, you can
say, getting rid of sugar
I'm no
and
longer
processed
eating
food.
Processed foods and sugar.
There you go.
And this is where my glucose is. Can we experiment with coming off of metformin? If he says no, either A, do it on your own because he can give you a prescription, but he can't make you take it, or B, again, find another doctor. But with your glucose in those levels, I personally don't think you need to be on metformin. Again, it's like we've got a lot of type 1 diabetics in here that will tell you they don't need to dose nearly as much because they're not consuming the sugar and the pasta, the carbohydrates, the grains, the starches,
and
all that
if you
stuff.
are getting started on keto and you are, if you're on any type of medicine, please stay on top of your numbers. Be checking your blood pressure, your glucose, like all these things. It is amazing what we have seen happen in such a short amount of time. Like people really find that there's a big change and they don't need nearly the amount of medication that they have before they start keto. I mean, we're talking like 2 weeks, people can see big changes.
Yep. Okay, let's get into some comments. Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Do you know how many Bell's Brown and Keto Bricks you would need to eat a whole cow liver?
Right. Asking for a friend.
So if you don't know, I don't know if there's any left, but Keto Brick did release the Bell's Brownie batter, which is a complete protein, and it's made with beef protein, and it has beef organ in it.
Oof.
And I think it's the best keto brick they've ever designed.
I really enjoy getting my organs this way.
Diane.
Hey, Diane.
I went off of keto a month ago. I gained 8 pounds back. Bought tickets for Keto Palooza and went back to tracking today.
Way to go. Welcome back. That is awesome. I can't wait to see you. I think they have a few tickets left for Keto Palooza, so, don't delay. If you're on the fence of whether to go or not, go ahead and get those tickets because they're going to be gone soon.
Diane said I went off. Oh, I read that one.
You clicked it and then clicked it on again.
Yeah. Indiana Nurse said there is a YouTube channel called Do Your Best.
I want to go on that.
Avon calling.
Oh! Come on in.
Come in. So
Well, hello. Please do.
Carrie said, I'm wondering if I use Redmond salt. I know that no salt or new salt has potassium.
Super
And
cute.
if I use those in water while eating meat, can I get
Hello.
electrolytes that way? Hey, guys.
I love this shirt
So-
that you're wearing. I love my awesome wife. You need that shirt.
I have no idea where I got this from.
You don't know?
I feel like
So it's Chris and Miriam from Keto Chow.
It's Chris and Miriam from Keto
Stop
Chow.
training. Anyway, answer Carrie's question.
So, okay, so she wants to know if I use no salt or new salt potassium, can I use them in water eating meat, can I get electrolytes? Yes. Yeah, I mean, new salt will give you potassium.
Someone else recommended cream of tartar. I actually don't know if that has.
Cream of tartar has a bunch of potassium in it. You can make
I'd
your
use-
own electrolytes with
I'd
it.
use
But
real
I
salt.
would
I'd use
use
new salt instead.
I would use new salt and then salt your food with real salt.
Yep.
That's what I would personally do.
Oh, that's okay. I'll toss her.
Lynette said, when planning, I assume the worst possible scenario and problem solve for that. If it happens, I'm all good. If it doesn't happen, I'm all good.
And like
even
I said,
better.
that's me. That is
That's the
absolutely
worst
me.
possible.
Are you a planner, Chris, or are you a fly by the seat of your pants,
I
gentleman?
am a planner unless I'm on vacation and I can trick someone else into planning it.
And then
And then I just stick my brain into neutral and
I was-
let it go.
I just realized that your mustache is missing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is different
He's
about
going
Chris?
I'm going diving.
What about
I
you,
just
Miriam?
put
Are you a
silicone on mine.
planner or are you
I do both. I like to fly by the seat of my pants like a lot. It's really fun for me to just wing it, but it is nice to have a plan.
Yeah, I think that, just having a large family, you can't do, you have to have some structure of a plan. But I will say that Miriam and Chris both are really excellent at providing kind of like a scaffold for most outings with the kids so that they have a nice blend of responsibility for themselves. That it's like, okay, these are the things we're going to need for packing for the cruise. I actually used her list for packing for the cruise that she gives to her kids for my own packing for a cruise, because it's like you're helping them to be successful, but they still have to.
I
have a
probably
plan.
need to plan more because I miss emails, I forget to return things.
Well,
but-
Michelle was joking that John Paul's a lot like you in that you never have a Stauffer man leave the house and then get in the car and go. He always has to go back in the house 3 or 4 times because there's something that he has forgotten. And John Paul has had to purchase a ball cap and sunglasses several times on several
Guess you
vacations
forgot there.
I
because
totally
it's
forgot
like,
my hat.
oh, dang it, I forgot my
Like, I
hat.
guess I'm getting a Florida hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teresa said, I wish I was go with the flow, but nope, I will try.
Yeah, I'm trying better.
It's funny. So that's actually how my cat collection started.
Right.
Because I wear a hat, and then I just started every place I go, I buy a hat. But it really
cat.
started.
I heard
Cat
cat too.
collection.
My
It-
cat collection.
It really started because I forgot a hat on a trip.
And then it was like,
And
that's
then it
it.
became now I purposely get a hat on every trip to commemorate my trip.
And I've become a hat person as well. Hey,
Jesse
I
said,
saw
I used to be a
Shayla.
staunch planner, and life gave me 2 children with autism, and nothing ever goes as planned. And you literally had to be prepared for the unexpected.
I definitely, being in kids ministry for 30 years, you definitely plan for everything, but you never know how the day is going to go. You just have to, but I think having a plan in place of some sort helps me.
Shayla, thanks
Hey,
for the
Shayla.
$5 super chat. Said, Rachel, may I ask your height and your weight on ketovore for anxiety? Must eat this way, but love your size. So encouraging for weight side effects.
Well, thank you. I'm 5'7" and a half. I grew that half. I want full credit for it. And right now I'm
It's not
about
hair. It's not
somewhere between 125 to 128 pounds is about where I stay now.
That's one of my legs.
Nuh-uh.
Last one. Scott
Hey,
said,
Scott.
my family is buying our first cow. Any
Yay.
recommendations on an upright freezer?
Yay.
Honestly, if you have the room, I would recommend a chest freezer.
Someone else said later on that if you have a lot of power outage,
Yeah,
get
so
a
chest freezers will keep it colder longer if you have a power outage, but you can fit more in a chest freezer.
Yeah.
You just have to have the room. I have upright freezers. I would much prefer a chest freezer, but
Me
you
too.
need to have that room to be able to put it in. But you can put a lot more in there as opposed to when you have the upright,
can't
you have
ever
to
get it
yeah,
out.
you can,
Yeah.
you have to kind of organize it.
You have to go in and then like tie a rope around
it-
your waist
it-
because you're going
You have to
in.
organize it. Like Michelle has a chest freezer and she's like super organized. It's like stacks and
But my mom,
you can put the best thing to do is put it like in crates.
my mom always had had that chest freezer, and seriously, like there's so many times where I would look out and just see her legs dangling up in the air and like the whole top half of her body down there. But I will say, get what you can get, because
Yeah.
I find that there's always like there's not a lot of them out there. And I know that John Paul and Michelle were like, we ain't in love with anything. We're gonna get what we can get because it can be kind of hard to find them.
Yeah, our chest freezer's 20 years old and still kicking. That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
Frankie said a big
One of my
non-scale
birthday
victory.
presents.
A1C was 6.74 months ago. Diagnosed type 2 diabetes. Got my 4-month test results back today. No drugs, and I'm 5.7.
Way to go, Frankie!
That's a
Good
lot lower
job.
percentage of dying. That's
Yeah.
great.
I'm gonna tell you, like Dr. Barry will say, no medicine can do that. Like the medicine, whatever they're gonna prescribe you on, like it's just not going to happen.
Can't drop it that much.
That much, and certainly not that fast.
LFBO, are you willing to share the packing list for cruise? We can put it on
Yeah, I'll
Mighty
share
Network.
it.
We'll put it in Mighty Networks.
I taken a 2-week cruise.
It's just a regular list.
It's so
Yeah.
good though.
Maybe push-
It's
publish
very
one, too.
comprehensive.
Cool.
It's gonna be during Ketopalooza.
Cool. We are gonna get off. We got to take these guys to the dive shop. So
With
and
their
plan for
awesome
diving.
shirt. Look at that.
Guys,
Also, Bucky's.
Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back live on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We love you guys.
Bye.